So that's the hasad which is within them. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Mim ba'adi. Okay, Mim ba'adi is again, we just look the same word, means after. Again. Okay. Then let's look at the next verse. Ma tabayyana. Ma here means what? Or that which. Okay. So let's look. Ma. What or that which. Okay. The next word starts with these three letters. Ba, ya and noon. Baina, it means to be between. Okay, and this is three letters, so they belong to the Bab Fa'ala. Okay, now we are going to make a bigger word by adding a ta in the beginning and putting a shadda on the middle letter. So this will become, so we put a shadda on the middle letter. Okay, so we are adding a ta in the beginning and a shadda on the middle letter, and we sound it ta fa'ala. Okay, so this is a bigger word. So if we do the same thing here, this will become ta bayyana, and ya can be written like this, na. Okay, and the middle letter will have shadda, which is here. So tabayyana. Tabayyana means to make clear. Tabayyana means to make something very clear, manifest. So that's the name of the bab, tafa'ala, and with the help of that bab, this word becomes tabayyana, and the meaning of tabayyana is to make something very clear. Okay. Now also the name of the bab, which is tabayyana or tafa'ala, also has the meaning of third person and past tense. Okay. So third person is here he, and past tense is he made clear. He made clear. That's also the meaning of tabayyana, he made clear. Now notice that there is a word ma before that. Ma means what, or also ma means that which. So if we combine ma and tabayyana, then we don't have to translate the he there. We can say what made clear, or that which has made clear. Okay, or that has become clear. Okay, ma tabayyana, that what has become clear. Lahum, so this means what became clear. Okay, lahum means to them or for them. What has become very clear for them. What has become clear for them? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, al-haqqu, the truth. Okay, and that word is from these root letters ha, qaf, and qaf, and the noun is haqqun. Haqqun means truth. Okay, and if you put al before that, al means the. Okay, and when you put al, one dhamma goes away, so it becomes al-haqqu. Al-haqqu means the truth. And when you recite it with the previous word, lahum, then you do not pronounce this alif, but you combine the mim with the lam, and this alif becomes hamzatul wasl, and hamzatul wasl is a small swab there. So the word becomes lahumul haqqu. So the truth has become clear to them. What does it mean? Truth has become clear to them is that when they are seeing the Quran and when they are seeing the Prophet ﷺ, and it has become very clear to them in their minds or in their observation that this is a true religion, this is a message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the Quran is coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it has become clear to them. They have accepted the fact that this is truth. Even after that, because they have envy in their hearts against those who have already believed, so they wish that they can turn these people back to the state of the kufr because of the envy in their heart. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explaining this to them the truth. Okay? So this is the state of their hearts. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is exposing to those who have believed. So they can be careful and they can be warned that there are enemies against them who wish that they go back to the state of the kufr. So this is the fact Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning about the Ahlul Kitab. Many among them are like that. Then from this point onward, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing the believers. Okay? By saying fa'afu wasfahu. So this is the command. This is the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to those who have believed, that how should they react of this fact about the people of the book. So the word is fa'afu. So let's look at this word. Ain, fa and waw. This means to forgive. Okay. Now, if we fu, if we make a word from these three letters, we drop the waw and add an alif and pronounce fu, this becomes a command to one person. And the command is do. Do what? The action of forgiving, which means forgive. Okay? If you are addressing to one person and you are telling this person forgive, then that is what the grammar is, that you just drop the waw and add an alif and pronounce it fu. Okay? For one person. If you are addressing many people and telling them forgive, then what you do, you add a waw and an alif, which is not recited with the wiqaya, and you pronounce fu. Fu, forgive, and this is a plural statement. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing those who have believed here by telling them fu, forgive, means whatever they are doing, just don't worry about that, just forgive. Okay? And then the word is fa before that. Okay? Fa means so. Okay? So when you read this together, you combine this fa with this ayn, and you do not pronounce this alif here in the middle, and when you do not pronounce, this becomes a hamzatul wasl, and you put a small swad on it, and you pronounce fa'afu, and that's the word in the Quran, fa'afu, so forgive. Okay, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to the believers, so forgive. Okay. After that is the other word, which is swad, fa, ha, safaha. Okay? The meaning of this word is to overlook. Overlook, you can say like ignore them. Okay? Overlook. Okay? Now, if we make the command from this, it will be isfah. Okay? Isfah is the command to one person. Okay? Isfah, you put an alif in the beginning with the kasra, and you pronounce this isfah. Okay? So this is for one person. What does it mean? Overlook or ignore. Okay? Now if you want to make a plural of that, you do the same thing. You put a vav at the end and with an alif. Okay? And now the pronunciation will be isfahu. So you pronounce this like this. Isfahu, overlook, ignore, and this is for the plural. Okay? And then again, you put a fa in the beginning, means so. Actually, there is no fa, but there is a vav. Okay? Vav means end. Okay? And now, when you combine a read, vav combining with the swad, you do not pronounce the alif, so alif becomes hamzatul wasl, and the pronunciation will be wasfahu, and that's the word in the Quran. Wasfahu, and overlook, means ignore them, forgive and overlook or ignore, and overlook. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling believers how to react, how to respond about what they are trying to do to you. Okay, these are orders, these are the commands from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says hatta. Hatta means until. Okay. Now it is important to notice that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that you will need to continue forgiving them or overlooking and ignoring them and avoiding them until there is a time. Hatta means until. So this may take some time. Until what happens? Ya'ati Allahu bi amrihi. So let's look at these words. The word is alif with a hamza and ta and ya. This means to come. Okay? And when this word comes with a letter ba after this, okay, B, then the meaning of this combination becomes to bring. So let's keep this. Why? Because this B here is the B that we are going to use with these three letters grammar to bring out the meaning of to bring. Okay? Now, so let's look at this grammar here. If we have these three letters, fa'ala. Fa'ala means to do. Yaf'alu means he does. Present tense and third person. Okay? So if we put this rule into these three letters, so this will become ya, ti, actually ya, let's just first write down and we'll change it, ta and ya. Okay? You just simply put a ya in the beginning, this alif is here, and second letter is ta, which has a fatha on it, and third letter has a ya, which is like a dhamma on it. Okay? Now, ya is a weak letter, and it has a dhamma on it. So this dhamma is not read. And when it is not read, then the sound of this ya is moved backward for the pronunciation, and this becomes ya ti. Okay. Ya'ati means he comes. Okay? He comes. And if I translate this with a B here, the meaning will be he brings. Okay? So Ya'ati, and now we are translating these two words together. Ya'ati and this B can be translated as he brings. Okay? Now, there is a word in the middle, Allah, which is the noun here. So we don't have to translate this he here. We will be translating Allah brings. Okay? So the meaning of this will be Allah, and this with this thing will be brings. Okay? This B is being combined with the yati. Allah brings. Okay, what does Allah bring here? Okay? Until Allah brings something. Okay? And the root letters are Alif, Mim and Ra. This means to command or to order. And the noun is Amrun. Amrun means command. Okay? And who means his. Okay? So now it becomes, if you combine these two, Amrun is a noun and who is a pronoun. When you combine these two, they will become Amruhu. You do not pronounce two dhammas, you pronounce one dhamma only. Amruhu means his command. Okay? So word now is Amruhu, his command. Okay? Now also, before this, there is the letter Ba here with a kasra. Okay? Even though we use that letter to bring the meaning of Yati, but this letter B, because it's a harf-jar has the effect on the word after that. So harf-jar will change this to a kasra. Okay? So now it will become Bi Amri. And for the pronunciation, we also pronounce this he to make easy on the tongue. So it becomes Bi Amrihi. The word Amrihi, even though its sound changed, but the meaning is his command. Amrihi, his command. Okay? Until Allah brings his command. Until Allah sends out his order, his command, and a judgment is made about those people who are wishing that those who have believed should go back to the state of the kufr. This is their zulm, this is their crime, and Allah will issue a command. Allah will send out his judgment against these people. But until that happens, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is instructing and ordering the believers that they should follow about these two things. They continue ignoring or overlooking what they are doing and what they are saying, as well as forgiving. Okay? Not going against them to revenge. Okay? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna Allaha. Inna means indeed, or surely. And the word is Allahu, but Inna makes the word Allahu, the noun after that in the state of nasab. So Allahu becomes Allah because of the inna. If inna was not there, this word will be Allahu, which is the original word. So indeed Allah. Okay? Allah means upon. Okay? And the word, two words after that are kulli shay'in. So let's look at that, those two words. The word kullun is the original word. Kullun means each or every, okay, or all. Kullun means these different words, meaning. The other word is shay'un, which is written as shay'un, with the two dhammas. Shay'un means thing. Okay? So now this is a noun here, kullun, and this is the noun here, shay'un. Okay? When you combine, the combination will be everything. Okay? So when you combine in English, it will become everything. In Arabic, what you do, you remove one dhamma from there, so this becomes kullo, and these two dhammas will become two kasras, so it will become kullu shay'in, kullu shay'in, everything. Okay, but the word before kullu is ala. Ala means upon, and ala is a harf-e-jar, and harf-e-jar looks at the next noun after that and changes dhamma into a kasra. So now the combination of these three words become ala kulli shay'in, upon everything. Ala kulli shay'in, the words are exactly same as we came here. Upon everything. Okay, kulli shay'in, everything. Okay, and then the word after that is qadirun. Okay, and that word starts with these three letters: qaf, dal, and ra. Qadara. This means to have power, to have authority. Okay, and the noun, the doer, is qadirun, like alimun. Okay, qadirun means all powerful, the one with all the authority. Okay, one who can do everything, so all powerful. Okay, qadirun. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying here that Allah has power over everything. Okay? Indeed, without any doubt, surely Allah has complete power over everything. He's all power about everything. So the believers should wait and have patience and forgive and overlook and ignore until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings His command, brings His judgment against those who are wishing that those people who have submitted to the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they wish that these people go back to the state of the kufr because of the hasad, because of the envy they have in their hearts. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after stating that fact, is commanding the believers that they should hold on, have patience, and then Allah's command will come, Allah's order will come, because Allah has complete power over everything to do everything that He wants to do. So inshallah with that we'll stop here.